Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Paul Finkelstein on OMG Talk or online meetandgreet.com. Welcome to President's Day as it is, February 17, 2020. Today we have a special guest on online meetandgreet.com, and that is all the way from Southeast Florida, Lamar Morgan. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great, Paul. Just great.
Awesome. And great is great. It's better than not being great, right? Especially,
That's
I think
true.
that was the motto of Alexander, too. Alexander the Great. So, Lamar the Great. Let's dive into some questions and learn all about you. Our first question, Lamar, is this. It's pretty basic. I always like to do this. Take about 2 minutes or 5 minutes, however long you need. The first question is, how long have you been doing what you're doing?
I would say approximately a decade, approximately 10 years.
Excellent, excellent. So 10 years, and I always said, my parents growing up said that if you're doing something for 10 years, you're pretty much an expert at the 10-year mark. Would you agree with that?
I'm always learning because the world is changing in the way that it works.
Excellent. And always learning, education is always great. You definitely want to be involved with people always learning, because if you stop learning, I guess you're probably pretty stagnant, or maybe someone stops learning, they probably develop a bigger ego at that point too. So let's go to question number two, and that is, if you could share with us one success story that you're super proud of.
Okay, one success story that I'm super proud of is my work with a ministry that works with people that need counseling. And I took this person who almost had no visibility on LinkedIn and I multiplied it many times. And I'm still multiplying. And I'm just grateful that his outreach has grown significantly. He's gotten various grants and raised significant money to continue a service that is actually available to people for free. And that's very unusual.
Excellent. So let's dive into another question that will give our listeners or watchers or myself some insight into Lamar Morgan. If you could tell us, I know it can't be all about the money, but maybe it is all about the money. I know it's good to be a millionaire if you are, but if it was all about the money, or perhaps it's about some kind of passion that you developed at a young age or a late in life age, what got you passionate about your background and what you do?
Well, I spent nearly, 16 years on Wall Street. And one day it occurred to me that I never should have been there. And the reason I never should have been there was because that's not my education. My education was in journalism. So, why is a person that was educated in journalism working on Wall Street pricing mortgage backed securities? And the reason is they gave me a job. They gave me a job. The people that I was educated for didn't give me a job. So I went to where I could find work. And so what I ended up doing was I was leaving that industry, Wall Street, and looking for something else. And I had a friend who lost her job and she got involved with LinkedIn and she started helping people have LinkedIn profiles. And then a friend of hers says, "Why don't you make LinkedIn a business?" And she did. And she's going on 8 years now. And that is what actually got me into the business was a friend of mine seeking work and getting into LinkedIn and then asking me to go to her events so that she'd have enough people in the room to make it look like she's somebody to be taken seriously. So basically, I was actually invited to her events just to make her events look better. And then I ended up following her example.
Now, that's an excellent story. And I heard through the grapevine, a little birdie told me that something happened along your LinkedIn experiences that leads me to this question, and that's, what was the big wake up call when you reached the LinkedIn level one connection ceiling of 30,000 connections?
What happened when I reached the ceiling was I noticed that my number of connections started to go down and my number of followers continued to go up. In fact, I noticed that the number of followers I had when I reached 30,000 connections was more than 30,000 followers. So I'm thinking, how is it that I have more followers than connections, and my connections are now going down and I'm not doing anything? I'm not connecting with anybody. I'm not, because I've reached the ceiling, so I can't have anymore. But why would I start going down? So I had to research it. And what I discovered was that people were deleting me because they had taken my LinkedIn connection and moved it over to a CRM. Because, and the reason they did that was they wanted to add to their number of LinkedIn connections. So that's why they deleted me. But they didn't want to delete me altogether. They just wanted to delete me from LinkedIn. But they didn't only do that. What they did was, now I'm level 2 to them. They go back to my profile at level 2 and follow me with the hope that I will follow them back, which I normally did. And the idea is they want to showcase higher LinkedIn followers, because you can't showcase your number of connections on LinkedIn. LinkedIn hides that, but they showcase your number of followers. You know, you take somebody like Richard Branson, he has millions of followers, but how many connections does he have? He has the same number that I do. Okay. But people don't care about that. They care about the followers. So basically what I want to do is what other people are doing to me, is grow both of my connections and my followers at the same time. And the only way you can do that is to download your CSV file and then turn around and download it again, but delete the duplicates in your CRM if you can do that. However, I discovered there's a problem there too. And that is, LinkedIn took away the email addresses and they took away your LinkedIn profile web address link. All right. You cannot merge duplicates without either having a email address or a phone number. You need one or the other of those in order to merge duplicates. So what I was doing for several weeks was I was just adding my same number of connections to my CRM over and over again. I ended up with over 500,000 contacts in my CRM. And I thought, oh, isn't this great? And then one day I discovered I've got the same person in there like 9 times. I got to solve this problem. So I'm in the process of solving that problem with what's called Google Contacts. Google Contacts is where you can delete or merge your duplicates successfully. So basically, once you've merged all your duplicates successfully in your Google Contacts, you sync that over to your CRM. Therefore, your CRM looks just like your Google Contact.
You have a question that I have here to ask you, and but I already could see why you call yourself the crowd mechanic from this last question. But I would love for you to elaborate on, why do you call yourself the crowd mechanic?
The reason I call myself the crowd mechanic is because I discovered something on LinkedIn through doing searches on the number of purchases of social networks. You know, Microsoft purchased LinkedIn in December of 2016 for $22.6 million. Okay, that's in cash. I said million, it's billion dollars, $22.6 billion in cash. At that time, they had about 500 million users, Well, what does that mean each user costs LinkedIn? The answer is $52.40. Every person that you're connected to on LinkedIn has value, but you may not be making use of that value. Every person on LinkedIn could be either a customer or a referral source or both. Okay. But if they're nothing, then they're no good to you and you're no good to them. So basically, what it is the crowd mechanic is there to help enhance the value of every person and every small business that needs more connections. You need connections more than you need the sale of products and services. Because without believers, you don't even have a business. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You need some kind of ambassadors, you need customers that want to use your service for sure.
Everybody needs a tribe. And when I say the tribe, I'm not just talking about people. I'm talking about caring people, number one, useful, willing places, number two, like restaurants, and number three, useful things like intelligent software. One of the things that I'm really big on is using spreadsheets. I use spreadsheets for a lot of things, but one of the things that I want to do with the spreadsheets that I'm using is I want to automate the process because, the internet never sleeps. So basically, if you can have a spreadsheet going to work for you while you're asleep, that's a good thing.
Okay, so that's probably one of the tools that you're using to promote your business that shows you think outside the box, or do you have some other specific tools that helps you think outside the box?
Well, I showed you this little tool. Okay. This little tool I'm going to be sharing at some business networking events that I'm attending. And I'm just going to be giving this little tool away so that people can capture the QR code, fill out a form, and have me share their articles with my 90 plus LinkedIn groups.
Now you said that that little doohickey there has no sticky on it like a sticky note. So how does it stick if it's not stick to
Okay, if what
clipped
it
to
what it
your shirt?
has is uh, static electricity. It
Different type.
does it somehow with static electricity that I can put this on uh, a, a smooth flat surface. I can't put it on a table, but I can put it on a refrigerator. I can put it on a tablet. I can put it on a computer monitor. I can put it on a lot of things. I can put it on a notebook that has a smooth surface,
Did those
and
people
it'll
patent
stay
it?
there. What is that?
Did those people who made that patent it?
I would assume so. It is a Office Depot product. Office Depot made it.
Hmm.
You go to Office Depot and you say, I want to look at the display of the Kling sheets or the Kling notes, and they'll show it. They even have Kling boards, so they actually sell boards that you can put these things on.
So that the next fad or the next thing, the cling.
Well, see, they have if you go to YouTube and you look up Slicky sheets, you'll come up with a video about a person that went to the Shark Tank, and the Shark Tank makes real fun of her because she's just talking about the fact that this sticks on a computer screen, which is nothing. See, that's nothing. Where this where the power is in the process. What do you use this for in the process? See, if I didn't have this QR code on this little clean sheet, it would be nothing but a sticky note kind of a thing. But that's not what I want. I want to put other people to work for me. And here's the way I do it. with this. And see, because they're going to get something out of it, that's why they'll do it. I mean, why would anybody go to work for somebody else for nothing? That doesn't make any sense. But if somebody could do something with something that they already have, like an article in LinkedIn that they've already written, and somebody comes and says, if you'll just share that link with me, I'll be able to share it with 90 different groups for you. Will you do that? You'd be stupid not to do it. You see? So basically, when you go to a business networking event, you need to go with a plan in mind for other people to help you and you to help them. And that's what this is. This is a win-win paradigm, right? Okay. If you
Okay.
understand that, then you'll respond accordingly. But if you don't understand it, you'll just say, I don't care.
Isn't that true? I mean, there's so many things out there, and you either care or you don't care. We could break it
But
down
so
to
many,
two
so many
answers.
times, here's the deal. So many times people don't understand what they're looking at. For years, I looked at sticky notes as just something to write a note on and stick on something. I never even thought about project management. I never thought about I never even heard of a Kanban. You know, now there's a software company called Air. What is it? Oh my goodness, I have it. But anyway, it's got Kanban in it. It's a software that actually has Kanban in it,
Well, let's
which is
dive into a little bit. One more question for you today that we have time for. Then we'll wrap up and go through what
okay.
we've been talking about. And that's I hear you're involved in some special projects that mentor young people. That would have anything to do
Yeah,
with a
yeah,
speechcraft or Toastmasters, something else, I think.
it is. It is. There's something called mentor.org. And Paul, this is something you should plug into. Okay. Mentor.org. You can go to my profile and go down to videos. I actually have a video from mentor.org that I showcase,
A
which is
LinkedIn
really cool.
profile or a Lineable profile or both?
My LinkedIn profile.
Okay.
You go to my LinkedIn profile and go down to where the videos are. And one of those videos is about mentor.org. But what happened to me was when I hit that 30,000 ceiling of LinkedIn connections, I got a message from LinkedIn. And they said, we would like you to get involved with mentor.org because mentor.org is now partnering up with us and Starbucks. And their goal is to mentor 10,000 students. Well, 10,000 students nationwide, that doesn't seem like a big goal, but that's the goal that they've set. Okay. And basically they want you to just meet with kids and take them to the beach or whatever. But what I thought I would do was I thought that what I would do is I would teach them how to use LinkedIn to help nonprofits have better visibility in the marketplace. Therefore, the
Sounds
nonprofit
like a
come in.
spinoff from Big Brother, Big Sister. Have you heard of that group?
Well, Big Brother and Big Sister work with mentor.org.
Aha.
You see, they're all in there together. Okay. But here's the deal. Uh, there's a friend of mine who happens to be the mayor of Coral Springs. His name is Scott Brook. And for 12 years, he's been teaching leadership skills to high school students. And what he wanted to do was to give them community service credit toward graduation, but he couldn't do that. Uh, but then I introduced him to my sister, Jan Rogers, who you know. She has this nonprofit called Dream Makers for Life, and she can give the kids community service credit toward graduation for going to Scott Brooks leadership meetings. Okay. So basically, the kid benefit by getting the community service credit, and my sister benefits by getting them to help her do her projects for raising money. So basically, the nonprofits need the money, the kids need the community service credit to graduate from high school, and everybody wins.
Now, if there's anything that you want to reach out to Lamar Morgan, and learn about anything he's talked about or something resonated with you, I'm sure you could find him. His name is very easy to say and spell. So if you look him up on LinkedIn, you could just type in the search field Lamar Morgan. Is there any other way that you'd want people to reach out to you? Do you want to give any contact information out or a website or?
I would say just go to my LinkedIn profile. That's the easiest thing to do because there's a Calendly web address there where you can schedule a call with me. And there's also the link to my business website, which you can see. So one place has it all.
I wish I started using Calendly like over 10 years ago because I didn't realize how easy it is to use and really to keep track of your time in calendar and sync it to Google Calendar in a flash.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's been great having you, Lamar, but let's recap so everybody can hear what we've been talking about. The first thing we talked about was how long Lamar is doing what he's doing, and you can go back in the video recording and see that. Then we talked about as one success story that Lamar is proud of. And then he told us, well, hey, it can't be all about the money, or maybe perhaps it is, or maybe it's not. We'll let you go back in the video and see what got Lamar passionate about his background and what he does. And then he told us how we could reach out to him. He also told us what happens, uh, what was the big wake up call when he reached level 1 connection ceiling of 30,000 connections on LinkedIn. And then he told us why he calls himself the crowd mechanic. And then he told us about some tools that he might be using that you could probably use also to help you think outside the box. I'll give you a hint. He talked about something called spreadsheets, but a lot more involved than just a spreadsheet. And then he told us about what he's involved with and special projects that helps mentor young people. Anyway, I'm Paul Finkelstein with onlinemeetandgreet.com or omgtalk.com. Lamar, it's great having you here today.
It's great being here.
And
Thank you,
everybody
man.
have a great President's Day and the rest of February. Ciao for now, guys. Stick around, Lamar. We'll talk in just a second.